Good morning and welcome to another episode of BD Radio. It's been a while between episodes, but we're back in lockdown again, so we decided to record another one. We've been flat out over the past, three or four weeks really, just with the move and everything, and we'll get into that and make sure that you guys are clear on where that sits and how long it'll be before we can get into the gym. But welcome, Dan.
Thank you.
First and foremost, how you feeling?
Yeah, not too bad. I feel all right. I just went for a little walk to start the day, so that always helps.
Sure does. Update on the move. Where do we sit with that for the clients and wider BD community who listen? All 12 of you?
We're all in, guys. It looks fantastic, and we can't wait to actually use it.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that would be amazing. So, but on a positive note, it'll be really exciting that when we do return to in-person training, that we're in a brand new space. That's pretty exciting. Can't wait to show you all, see what you all think. Because obviously things change when you start to use it in real life. We've already changed a couple of things that we've noticed.
Yeah, just to get the flow, the practicality of how it would work with classes, with PTs, all that sort of stuff.
So it will change a lot once you're actually in there and we're operating like we usually would. Whereas we've kind of set it up based on our vision, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's similar to what we did with the old gym as well. We had it a certain way and then we changed it, with the cardio equipment against the wall. Remember, and then we moved it all down and then we put the rowers up, and it's sort of you find your flow over the course of time. But we're obviously super excited to have everyone in. It's been a bit frustrating not being able to do that, as I'm sure everyone listening to this in the 18th of August will be able to relate to.
Yeah, definitely.
In another Lockie D.
But another positive as well, that our new space allows for us to trade as usual. So with the restrictions that we've been given so far, we've been able to trade as we normally do with our
with the density
groups.
limits and stuff like that.
Yeah, with the density limits, we're not restricted in any way. So when we are back in, hopefully we'll be at our usual capacity, which will be great.
Yeah. If they follow the last 12 months of openings, then that will be the case.
Yeah.
So I want to get into some lockdown questions we asked our members and community last week if there was any pressing topics. We had a question of our own, and we did a post on this on our Instagram a while ago. If you missed it, I'll add it to the story again today, but it's about feeling good, because I don't know about anyone else, but what was it, Monday or Tuesday when the news broke about the extended 2 weeks, I was as flat as a tack.
Yeah, it is hard to keep picking yourself up, and we've had to do it multiple times now. And when I say we, I'm talking about us as a collective, everybody. So what are ways that you find help you, Ben?
I think even just before we get into that, because that's sort of the second part, is we often get told on our socials or when we speak to clients or in meetings and stuff, and it's how positive we are. And whilst we may naturally be that way inclined, probably me more than you. You're a little bit more Eeyore. You're Eeyore? Oh. That is an old nickname for you, Eeyore.
He doesn't mind pumping his own tyres, guys.
Nah, but glass half full, glass half empty sort of stuff. My glass is pretty much 95% of the way, the whole way. Even if that's not actually the case. Would you agree or disagree?
Guys, this is how I like to describe it, guys. Ben has his heads in the clouds. He's a bit of a fairy, whereas I'm a little bit more of a realist. I can recognise the situation at hand.
Yeah. But I'm saying, that's true, Eeyore. That's
no, but it doesn't mean you're not a positive person.
No.
Whereas
it's
you're
true.
saying the positivity.
No, I'm not saying that you're a negative person, but maybe I'll be more naive, positive.
Very naive.
Naive, positive, maybe. But I guess it's it's important to know that for us, that is a choice.
Yeah.
We choose to do that. It's not, we don't just wake up and be oh, it's a fantastic day, and we get on it. And there's little things that we do every day that we've learned over, we've now had plenty of experience being closed, of like what we need to do to give ourselves the best possible chance at not just walking around moping.
Yeah.
Because that would be really easy to do.
Yeah.
And we've all, when I say we've all, I mean us, like we have definitely had our moments, but it's these things that we're going to get into now that kind of just allow us to kind of pull ourselves out of the funk and just continue on as best we possibly can.
You saying that's something that I think is really, really important, where a lot of people are struggling at the moment. No one is acknowledging how they feel. So, like, it's okay to be down.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay, that you don't feel great about the situation. But whenever I speak to people, it's always like, I'm okay. Oh, people are worse off, about other people. No, it's like, well, you need to acknowledge how you're actually feeling and what are you going to do to address it.
I think there's a little bit of guilt there as well. Yeah, and I think whenever people talk to people who they know have it worse than them, if they were to complain about their own situation, they'd instantly feel guilty and be like, oh, well, it's not as bad as you guys.
What is worse? Like, or
you can look over at what's happening in Afghanistan at the moment. That is definitely worse.
Like we were saying the other day, like, obviously we're hugely impacted financially, but I feel so lucky from a home perspective.
Absolutely.
Like, we have, such a good home life, and like I feel blessed every day for that. Yeah. So, what is really hard for somebody else.
But you're making the choice to focus on that and not get caught up in what we can't do.
Yeah.
And and that's a big part of our messaging over the last 18 months, has been, what can I do?
Yeah, control the controllable. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but if you don't recognise that, then it's really easy to get.
That first step of recognition, I think a lot of people are missing at the moment.
It's like acknowledge, recognise, move on. There's always going to be people who have it like worse than us. Yeah.
And when he says move on, he means...
Yeah, I don't just mean park it and then he never talk about it again.
Doesn't mean sweep it under the rug. He means like
take action
address
to improve it. Yeah. But I think it's like no one wants to be a sook, but you can still sook for a little bit. That's all right. You just have to try and pull yourself out, take steps to rectify it when you feel ready. And that's a different time for everyone as well. Everyone handles it. Everyone handles the way they feel really, really differently.
Yeah, but it's okay to feel how you feel. No one understands how you feel as an individual.
Mm-hmm. If anyone tells you to just huck it up, you can tell them to somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to swear anymore on the podcast so it reaches a wider audience. All right, so just give us a little bit of an indication, like what are some things that you're doing at the moment to kind of keep you sane would be the best way to...
Okay, so now we're going into what we're doing daily.
What would you do?
So movement obviously is huge for us.
I had the whole squad out in the shred shed yesterday.
Yeah, Ben was doing a workout in the garage with everyone while I was doing some office work yesterday. That was fantastic. And also, I feel something that's really helped me is looking at it as us from a family unit. And I do believe that having children has really helped me through...
I had that the other day. Yeah, oh my God,
through these last kind of 18 months. Because there are other people that we need to consider with our choices.
Yeah.
So that does play a big role. So I never feel alone. Like, when I wake up, I'm always thinking about someone else.
Always.
Normally we've got a little person next to us or something like that. But I actually think, I wake up every day and feel quite lucky to have that.
For sure. If I'm being honest, we could park the homeschooling. I'd be fine with that. If William didn't have to do that, that'd be super. But Mia and Harry, for sure, they're great levelers.
Yeah. But I don't know.
At the end of they just don't give a stuff. They don't know what's going on. Even William, he's ecstatic with lockdown.
He does like hanging out with us.
He came home the other day. He's like, 2 more weeks. Yes. And I was just like, I'm going to throw this kid off the roof. 2 more weeks. Dead set.
He does like it.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. So what have I mentioned? Movement.
Kids, the family.
Yeah, the family unit is definitely something else. Gratitude is something that I've very much...
Well, you just touched on it before.
Yeah, but that was just family. Like, there's so many things. Like, I was just talking to you about NHP. So I'm currently doing some work for another company. And I've had this relationship with this company since I was 18 years old. And I just think how amazing I'm now in my 30s and have managed to maintain this relationship. And now that's providing our family with a bit of secure income. I just think that's incredible. Like, how lucky am I? So little things, like really sitting down and like assessing, wow, like there is a lot to be thankful for. And I think sometimes, you know, when we're constantly put in to these situations, so I'm talking about lockdowns, it becomes really easy for people to sit there and think of the negative. But if you just take the time to sit there and think about all the positive things, and we've had a lot of positive things come out of this, like our business has completely changed.
Our community's grown.
Yeah, like incredible. Like how does that even happen?
Massively.
And yeah, I am so grateful for all of that. So yeah, really focusing on that. Routine is big. So like if we can try and maintain some kind of routine, you know, doing the things that you know make you feel good.
That has been my biggest struggle for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a 5K run. If you always run 5Ks, doesn't mean you need to run 5Ks. If it means walking around the block and you can maintain that, go for a walk around the block. That's okay. You don't need to do what you've always done, but some kind of routine, like consistency is huge. If you can consistently do something that makes you feel better, then that will help you.
Well, I mean, the nature of consistency as well is that over the course of time, it gets easier, which means that like the hardest time to do a 20-minute workout at home or a 5K run or a walk is literally the first time. Because as soon as you do it 10 times in a row, you're off to the races. It's fun. Like, it's actually harder to stop than it is to continue.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like those first few steps are the hardest for sure.
Yeah. What about yourself? Do you have any?
Yeah, I tend to kind of just pretty much...
I didn't mention food.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly, we love food in this house.
Yeah.
You know, still a favourite moment of ours every week is getting our delivery of our fruit and veg.
Yeah, well,
the kids get very excited.
The organic veg and the veg box with the fresh white sourdough.
Yeah, that's a highlight. The kids tend to get a lot more involved with like the meal planning and that
Cooking.
kind of stuff in lockdown. Yeah, just because they're around a lot more. So I really love that side of it, and we always make sure we're giving ourselves the best opportunity to feel good by eating good food.
Yeah, and we'll touch on that in a minute. But I guess for me, movement's a big one, but not just movement. Like, you know, we touched on the fact that I did it with the kids yesterday in the garage, but it has to be early in the day, because otherwise I find I tend to sit around and like wait to do it, rather than like if I get it out of the way, it's like great, like I'm good, I'm rolling, you know, like I'm doing stuff.
He wasn't waiting for me yesterday, guys.
No way.
He's like, nope, I'm taking them all.
No, I was like, stuff this, because otherwise I end up just sitting down reading Mr. Men books or something like that, and I'm like, just, you know, get that old pickaxe and just drive it into my cheek.
We're talking about positivity here.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm taking steps to be more positive, but you know, like just keeping moving is the one thing. So work out into lunch, and then we had our Zoom classes, and then I held the kids because they wouldn't sleep, so I held Harry, put him back, held Mia, put her back. Well, actually, she just slept on me, and then we made some protein balls, which turned into a slice. But like, I felt so much better about all of that stuff because like I'd already done the thing that makes me feel good. Whereas if I was to wait for you until 4 o'clock or whatever, like it just would have been rushed. You know, like I just would have felt not as good about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Clearly
selfishly, I had to get it done.
No, but it's true. Like, the fact that you can recognise it, like it is. Like, I can't function unless I know everyone else in this house is okay. Whereas you can happily take them all out in their PJs or, you know, but it's what works for you. Like, you know that if you get that done, then the rest of your day will be so much better and you'll be able to get it all done.
Yep.
Whereas I'm the opposite. Like, I need to make sure that all my ducks are in a row before I start.
You got that mum guilt going. That mum guilt.
But yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
Like,
old Papa over here doesn't give a shit about anyone but himself. So it's just like, I was like, stuff it, it's happening. Get in the garage. Mia, shut up. William, you come. Harry, sit there, be quiet, look cute. He's cracking it. I was like, get your dummy.
But
like,
again, recognising that you need that.
Yeah.
And they were all fine and happy and loving life. So.
Okay, so they kind of touched on the important ones for us, you know, training, food, routine, all that stuff. And in a way, that's the important stuff for everyone. But the way it might look for you is going to be completely different. I guess it's like, so what stuff can you do? You know, in like, for anyone who doesn't suffer from a kind of like, you know, mental health condition or anything at all, you know, as I've been lucky to this point to avoid that stuff. Like, this has been the hardest 18 months of my life. You know, and it's like, so how can I take positive steps and do stuff that's going to help? And it's pretty much just avoiding instant gratification. So all the stuff that's going to make me feel good in that moment, you know, and I'll give like eating chocolate or, you know, doing stuff that's kind of like negative for my health in the long term is just going to make me feel worse. And that seems to be the stuff that most people turn to first. Alcohol, chocolate, fried food, takeaway.
Not only that, like, it's what... I'm going down a slippery slope here, but it's like the information we're fed in mainstream media tells us what is kind of like appropriate, funny. So like the fact that bottle shops are open and essential, like, are bottle shops essential?
For some people, clearly.
You know, it's...
So's KFC.
Yeah, it's like how... Yeah. I just think...
That's more a cultural issue than anything else.
It is a cultural issue, but the fact that this is a health pandemic, is it not?
Yeah.
And those things are essential and trading businesses, and then we've got stats coming out for mental health that are through the roof, never been seen before.
Not only that, but also all the research suggests that being fit and healthy is a great thing.
Exactly.
At the moment, you know, like...
But all those industries aren't essential and are closed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's kind of, we've been left, you know, we have to... The power is in our hands. We have to do more than what we'd usually do to get that gratification. So, you know, it is harder for you guys, you know, to exercise. It's easier for you to walk into the gym and us to program and coach you. Unfortunately, that isn't the case at the moment. So, you know, what are you going to do that's still going to give you that sense, of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Wellness?
No. But, well, it is wellness, but that wasn't the word I was looking for.
Gratification?
Yeah, like, what's going to make you feel good? It's going to be harder, but it's up to you to make it happen a lot more given the current situation. Yeah.
And when so much of your energy is already going to be dedicated to, you know, as you said, making sure everyone else is okay, you know, so we've heard of parents this week and their kids are struggling, you know, and that's... Like, we can only imagine how hard that would be, you know, and we're incredibly lucky that to this stage our kids are doing okay. But yeah, how would you want to go for a 10k run if your kid's upset, you know, like, it's just, you've only got so much energy to assign throughout the day, that just don't be too hard on yourself. Take the opportunities when they arise, but just change the language internally of, like, I need to exercise to hopefully I'll have time to exercise. And you don't carry that stress of, I didn't have time, I'm going to feel worse, this and that. And it just becomes a little bit more of that, like, mountain to climb.
And also, like, a big thing that I talk about all the time is, like, celebrate the wins. Like, there are still good things happening now. So really, people feel like, I can't be happy because everyone's in such a bad situation. It's like, no, well, that's more of a reason to be happy. Like, let's try and all, like, kind of build each other up. Like, like, if someone asks you, how was your day? Oh, actually, something really positive happened today. And that might actually make the other person feel good too.
Harry rolled over?
Not kind of, I don't know, I feel like we're putting all the good stuff in a closet.
Because you don't want to make other people feel bad because you feel good.
Yeah, but, like, that little bit of good will most likely make another person feel good.
Yeah, they love it.
By sharing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess, we've spoken about that for a little bit now. Hopefully we've given you guys a bit of an indication of how we kind of tackle it. And, as we said, give ourselves the best opportunity to feel good. And that's basically it. We've got a couple of questions, and I'll do... Actually, the first one is good. Favourite feature of the new gym, and what are you most excited about for the reopening?
Ooh.
So what's your favourite feature of the new gym?
People are going to laugh at this, but I am so happy our kitchen is not in the gym.
All right,
it's amazing. Our kitchenette is behind closed doors, and you will not see us making our breakfast.
That's true, and people come like, what are you eating? I'm like, porridge. They're like, oh, how boring. Like, yep.
That is my favourite feature. What's yours?
I think I like the separation of the rooms. So old gym was obviously a warehouse, or not obviously, if you didn't know that. The old gym was a warehouse, a really nice warehouse, but a warehouse.
One big space.
One giant space. Whereas the new gym has a little bit more of a studio feel, which we're really pumped about. And it's got, what was I calling them the other day? The build room and the burn room. It's just sort of like, it given us the opportunity to set up in a way where it's just going to make the classes flow as well as PTs just a lot more smoothly and not sort of feel like you're in anyone else's space as you train, which would be great.
The separation of spaces is nice.
Yes, so that's probably what I'm most happy with. And also, like, it's a bit of a work in progress at the moment, but I'm really looking forward to having the reception desk all up and running and, like, just everything looking really, really fresh.
Yes, it does look fresh.
Yeah. And the roller door as well, sweet into the new space. It looks great.
Nice. Very nice.
It's all really, really cool.
I just can't wait to share it with people. Like, it's like we've seen it, and now we've seen it for a fair while. And it's like, but no one's used it yet.
Yeah, no one's used it yet, but it does make us smile when you message us and, and reply to our stories and everything and say,
thanks,
looks
guys.
can't wait to come in and all that sort of stuff, and we can't wait to have you in. So that's our favourite feature. What are you most excited about for the reopening? If it's not having everyone in, because that's probably the most obvious one. Being able to work is super.
I don't know. Just to, like, welcome the community back in. Like,
I think it just
I want to know what
like a bit of a fresh start.
Yeah, I want to know what everyone thinks about the space, and I hope that they're comfortable and love it. And
yeah, I think like, this isn't necessarily for the clients as much as it is for us, but it's going to get significantly more exposure with just the location compared to our old space. If we had $1 for every time someone's, I didn't know there was a gym here, and I'm like,
I know, it's Dean Street. That's true.
Yeah, and it was a great space, and we grew our community, and like, it served a terrific purpose for 4 years, but in regards to growing our company and growing our community, I think this space will serve us really, really well. So that's probably what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, I agree. That's a very good point.
Yeah, so everyone wear your BD gear. We're doing lots of running.
Yeah, we've like, even when we were setting up, we've had so many people kind of like
Just-
walk past, pop their head in.
Yeah, poke their heads in.
So yeah, I think that will be really, really nice, the location. And we have a really nice neighbour too.
No, I reckon he's a douche.
It's nice that John's popped in a couple of times. So yeah, I think the new space is just, I love everything about it.
Yeah. The only negative is that we need to find a new cafe.
Yeah, there's like, not
I'm
great
sure-
coffee around.
I'm sure there's plenty of
still
good
need to-
bacon and egg rolls.
Yeah, we still need to
Lots of
walk
good tradie
out of
food.
circle to get.
I'll be able to get my Chico roll and my mother's, but not 100% on the the Melburnian cafes.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. It's just, it's probably more our smaller coaches who will be most unhappy with that, so they get their chinos.
Well, yeah, I don't think they're fussed whether they get their chinos, to be honest.
No, that's true. How did you adjust your normal movement and nutrition routine around the move?
Oh, this is a good one.
So I guess, how long did the move take?
Ugh.
We did it probably about a week in total, wasn't it?
Yeah,
From
it
like
was,
Wednesday to Wednesday. Because we
it
started
was
tearing
longer
up the
than
mats.
we anticipated.
Yeah, longer than we anticipated because, we went into lockdown, remember?
Yeah. So it was made a little bit more difficult.
A lot more difficult.
So in terms of movement, we
didn't train.
said to ourselves, we're physically like relocating a gym.
We had like 20,000 steps each day.
That is our movement.
Yeah, it was plenty.
So tick, we didn't have to worry about fitting in a dedicated exercise or movement session.
No.
And in terms of food, we had a lot more like easy prep meals. So like stuff like sauces that all we had to do was like
the turkey
boil
bolognese
some
and that
pasta
sort of stuff.
or make some rice.
And we had takeaway a couple of times too. Remember we had
roast chicken one night
on the Thursday, and then I think we had fish and chips on the Friday.
So usually in our house we have one meal a week where someone picks, which you guys all know.
Yeah.
So we had an extra takeaway meal which we made as optimal as possible.
Yeah, I think us
we tried
adults
to keep it.
Yeah, we just had roast veggies and chicken.
Yeah,
it was delicious. I think
it was very nice.
I ate like a whole chicken.
Guys, Croxton chicken and chips
on High Street.
The best chicken shop ever in Thornbury.
Best chips though, Suva so good in Ivanhoe.
Ooh.
Nah, be quiet. Best chips, even William agrees.
Well, William likes the Croxton chips.
Yeah, I'm just saying these are better.
Okay.
I'm not saying they're not good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not talking about takeaway today. We're talking about our food. So we tried to make sure we had a lot of good quality stuff prepped.
Yeah.
So we didn't fall apart because we weren't prepared, because we knew we were going to be really time poor. And then that one extra meal we tried to make as optimal as possible. We knew we ran out of time. We needed to feed 3 kids. It was late.
Yeah.
We didn't finish up at the gym till late, so we grabbed a chicken on the way home.
Yes, but overall I think like it changed not as much as people would think. We just knew we were going to be busy, had lunches ready, and that was basically the main thing.
Yeah.
All right, next question. I already know what your answer is going to be, and it's really bland. Favorite workout music?
Well, what's my answer, Mr. Know-it-all?
I don't really care.
Well, I can answer. It's not actually answering. I can tell you what I don't like, and it's Ben's rap list.
That's because you're a white girl with no soul. That's what it is.
It's horrible. It's horrific. The language.
Listen, you grow up in the mean streets of Montalbert, and that's what gets you going.
Mean streets of Montalbert.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't think. Honestly, it's disgusting. I'm not.
I've got playlists for everything though.
Yeah. It depends what mood I'm in. Like, if I'm doing like a big conditioning piece, I prefer.
Conditioning's like cardio.
Yeah. I prefer like house type music. Whereas if I'm lifting, I don't like that kind of music. I'd prefer something a little bit mellower.
Yeah. Most of our clients are probably just like, I just listen to AC/DC all the time. And whilst I do listen to AC/DC a lot, that's just more just like the general exercise tunes, but it is specific to what I'm doing. If I'm by myself in the gym and I'm not going to corrupt anyone's ears or language, then I'll probably listen to the rap playlist, I reckon. But it depends. Like, the worst thing with training and music is getting used to it and it not having the desired effect anymore. So I just chop and change all the time.
Yeah, I think we listen to AC/DC because Mia requests it.
Mia requests Thunder, yeah. And I'm only too happy to oblige.
Then you'll probably hear Frozen a lot now, guys.
Oh my God.
That's what he's taken to at the moment.
She's obsessed with Frozen.
I
like it too.
Yeah, you're the one that's like, let's put Frozen on.
Yeah, well, it's better than hot dog, hot diggity, like
hot dog, hot diggity dog.
That sucks.
That's Mickey Mouse. It's educational.
It sucks, is what it does. And half of Williams movies, oh my God, they're awful. Well, Frozen's good.
All right, come on, moving on.
Yeah, I listen to anything. Depends on the mood. Probably most often would be like old rock and roll.
Yeah, we do like old rock.
All right, and how are you training at the moment in lockdown?
Ooh, I'm getting a lot more steps, so I actually don't mind it. General movement's probably up.
I'm not getting as many steps.
But the way we train, obviously, it's not as heavy.
No.
Which is a little unfortunate because that's kind
brought home some dumbbells. I'm just doing like lots of high reps sort of strength stuff, really.
Yeah, whereas normally our go-to would be
strength and conditioning.
A little bit more, resistance work and a little bit more conditioning. But when we're just doing what kind of keeps us sane at the moment, so a lot more walking and lighter resistance, higher rep.
And a good point for so I have some thoughts on what training is most optimal for most people, right? And it's a bit of a blend of everything. It's like trying to touch on as many of like the key, factors in good health as possible. Flexibility, mobility, strength, cardio, like anaerobic power, all that kind of stuff that you guys who train with us don't need to know about because you do that anyway. But it's like at home, the thought of doing burpees and running slap me. I cannot be bothered at all. So I know that, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to make myself do something that I don't like. So what would I enjoy? Probably just do some old school bodybuilding stuff. Easy. That way there's no pressure on, I need to go fast to get my heart rate up. There's no issue if one of the kids cracks it and I need to take a couple of minutes to, calm them down or get them a muffin or, whatever it is, because that's my rest period anyway. But if you start a 15-minute AMRAP and then have to stop, that would really, rightly or wrongly, an insight into my mind, that would really bother me.
Yeah.
So I don't even let myself,
you don't put yourself in that situation.
Yeah. He says, I need to go to bed now. And I'm like, well, I'm 6 minutes into 20, so you can wait. So it's like, well, I'm just not even going to bother.
Yeah.
Yes. So
especially if you can, and that when you're saying you're not going to bother, it's not you're not going to bother to do anything. It's that you adjust.
Yeah.
You adjust it so you meet that expectation of what you're wanting to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm doing more curls than Chris Hemsworth at the moment, so hopefully come out of lockdown.
Oh, yeah, you're looking amazing.
Great. Yeah, so that's
basically what we do. He did ask me the other day if he was looking... What did you say?
What?
Tell people how silly you are.
What did I say?
I don't know. Am I looking buff? No. Am I looking... What did you say?
Jacked.
And then you flexed. Yeah.
I wouldn't have done that.
I think you said jacked.
Jacked
sounds right.
That's wanker stuff. I wouldn't have done that.
No, of course not.
No. I'm far too highbrow for that nonsense.
This is our longest podcast ever.
No, it's not. It's only 34 minutes.
Oh, is it?
We've talked for longer.
Okay.
That's all our questions, though. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on?
No, just if you need anything, please, guys. Like I was saying before, reach out. What you often think is someone's, but someone's doing worse than me. It's no, have a chat and. Oh yeah,
if you they've got 3 kids in a business, they must be really busy. Yes, but we've always got time for stuff when people really need it, as everyone does. It's never too much of a hassle.
Yeah, I just ran into our neighbours when I was on my walk, and it was so nice to know that they were okay, and just a little chat really made my morning, which was nice. So yeah,
it's a real shame I can't do that for you.
Hopefully, hopefully we'll get to see. And I ran into Mel Jordan at the shops the other day, having a chat with her. It's little things like that really make you feel good.
Yeah.
So yeah, stay positive, guys, and yell out if you need anything.
Sounds good. We'll catch you on the next one.
Okay, bye.